morning, everybody. I am back after a couple days off of streaming due to some overtime, and yesterday's Fed cut also due to overtime. So I'm back in here. Happy to be back trading on the stream here. We do just have this post FOMC rally here. I drew up this quasi trend line just for reference.
Rates are on a gradual path down. More evidence needed.
I have Financial Juice talking to me in the background with the squawk, so if you hear it, that's probably what you hear. We've been rallying since the overnight. We had this push through our key structure levels, if you want to see that here on our major longer term chart here. This purple box has been a real important level as far as my bullish bearish sentiment, right? Since this gap up. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient and allow this to go. We do have that fear greed rocking and rolling into the greed section. I would like to see this creep into that extreme greed to get the blow off top and then the eventual sell off from the FOMC rate cut, because historically speaking, we do have a sell off post rate cut, not necessarily right away, but it does happen. So I am going to be watching to see if this trend line here will fail at all. It's not perfect by any means. This is just kind of tucked in here just to see what kind of reference points we have as far as if it's still going to be trending up or if it's going to start to reverse on us. I will be watching the Mag 7 to get my confluence down. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. Open here in 2 minutes. Really just be patient as best you can. I normally like to short opening up on the high, like at overnight highs, and I'm still not against it. This is probably, I got to switch over to micros for this account. Rechart it a little bit. MNQ here, MNQ there. We're good. MNQ everywhere. Yeah. Sorry.
Fitch Ratings says that U.S. state budgets are poised for slower growth after Fed rate cuts. 1 minute now to the market open imbalance and the U.S. cash equity open.
This is actually all the way down here. Really not going to come into play, hopefully. I mean, if it does, it's going to be interesting. Probably won't be trading at that point. Alrighty. All right. Here, open in less than a minute. Let's see what happens on this absolute moon mission here. 20,000 is going to play a big role. I will, like I said, use Microsoft, use NVIDIA to help me out here today. I always use them, but let's see what happens. I think we continue to just rock and roll for a little bit. NVIDIA snapping up a little bit, Microsoft snapping down a little bit, kind of usually gives me that. Mag 7 sell side 25 million on the market imbalances. So right off the jump, quick little sell piece there. Like I said, we don't want to try and get in front of it too much, but we do want to still get an opportunity here today. I want to see like a capitulatory top here. Microsoft selling off pretty nicely, but NVIDIA going straight up. So here's your Microsoft selling off, and there's NVIDIA going straight up. So you got the divergence there between the two. I usually, like I said, I usually like that short right off the jump if it's going to open on highs, but this is a different kind of market condition, so I want to see, kind of be observant, allow this to come to me, give me some sort of reason to short or a reason to go long. Maybe watch to see if we get a failed top. I would like to see what NVIDIA does over these levels up into 118, 119. That could give me time to short it. Microsoft does have higher. A couple days ago, 441.85 was a key structure level. So 441.85 could get that to be reactive. So we are kind of just dancing around. The market looks liquid enough, right? We do have good depth of market here, thick orders, clean looking time and sales so far. Post FOMC, we are pretty much finishing rollover. This is that the NQZ contract, the December contract. We are now trading in the front, especially if you've been trading Top Step X. It auto rolled for you a few days ago, but looking at the volume yesterday, obviously clearly much higher in the Z contract than in the Q contract. So we're good to go on this full roll. I think most, if not all, of the major players have rolled into this new contract for now. So, there may be still some stragglers left, but overall, I think should be just fine. Still could be heavy into that 20,000, like a retest of 20,000. I don't hate it. I would like to see this get maybe another whippy price action, right? Trap some longs, get people wanting to keep going long. But also, it's an easy seeming short, so that trap of the long could just be a further long. What did I say the upside target was? 30-minute upside target, 20,068. 68. So up in that 80 area is fine. Not unreasonable to think that would hit. Yeah, up into that 80. I wouldn't hate seeing that. Obviously down to 20,000. 19,982, really. Hopefully everybody's been doing well this week. Trading, keeping their psychology in check, not overdoing it with this Fed rate decision coming in. Not trading that decision directly because the liquidity was awful yesterday during that, and it was a little manipulative. I usually like this short right here like that. The failure, if we're opening up pretty much at overnight highs, creating overnight highs as we come into open, the likelihood of this coming in and at least giving me some reprieve is higher. So that's usually what I do. But today was not that day, right? I'd rather make a smart decision, be patient, make a little less, figure out what I want to do, get a setup to come in a little bit better than to just get run over by a freight train going to the upside, right? Because we found a bid here at 680 last night, this spot right here. That there is, we ripped through it, right? Came back, retested it, and we have not basically had no swing lows at all since. So this is that straight up movement from, let's say, 680 all the way up to 20,080, basically, just shy of 20,080. So that's quite the rally. 400 plus points in the overnight session. Another reason to, see a pullback. If you had the balls to take it, good on you. I did not. That was just me being more cautious than anything. Microsoft pulling back right into that 439.31 level. NVIDIA trying its best to break back above 117.71, but it's not. It's failing that level, so more sell side pressure coming in a little bit. We do have that 20,000 round number right here. Do I feel a long coming in from that bounce? Potentially. I want to see if it does bounce, though. I want to see if some sort of indication that it's going to maybe flush, trap some shorts, rotate back the other way, and go long through that 20,000 level. That would be more of an idea for me. 19,900 is that very high of that candle from that rate cut decision. So let's see if it wants to pull back that far or not. I don't know. Yo no sé. I want to see if it'll pull, because S&P's is trying to get to that high. That's what this box is. It's the high of that candle as well, basically. So we front ran 20,000. Microsoft still selling through 439. NVIDIA not really breaking out through 117, pushing up towards 118. So we have that divergence again. I think that we could find some more higher price points through here. I anticipated being at these levels prior to the rate cut, right? So seeing this kind of action allows that capitulatory top kind of idea to come in, and then the further upside, and then the selling pressure, right? Like a relief pressure gauge. Really wanted to see if this would get down to this support, but I mean, realistically, it did get to this level right here, that previous pre-market high level breakout point. Right there. Don't know if I trust this one yet either, right? With S&P pushing down towards lows and NQ staying up on highs. Microsoft still trying to find support here at 439.50. And NVIDIA just cracked through high of day, made new high of day. So NVIDIA through high of the day. Microsoft finding support at 439. Does that give us confidence to get through this overnight high and play a breakout? Personally, I'm not really a breakout trader. If I were to want to try something like that, I would want to be quick to trail it. And then if it does fail, then I'm going to just flip short. But I'm not going to be playing that right now. I'm going to be waiting, see some sort of capitulatory top, maybe up into 20,080, and then see if this level will fail again. If that level fails again, then I'll look to rotate short down at least to 20,000 and probably see if this trend line will crack. All right, so there's this push up. Is it going to fail to break out? Look, you see S&P is diverging completely. S&P is pushing towards lows, NQ pushing towards highs. I will set my stop sell order here, stop sell 3. Allow this to dance around a bit, see if I can get some sort of selling pressure to come in from that failed whip over the top of that level. This was purely just going to be a quick. I want to see it rotate down. I mean, it should snap down if it wants to go. Microsoft's catching a bid. NVIDIA's still strong, but I want to see if this is going to reverse at all. Right? Up through, like I said, up into 2080 would be nice to see if that's going to be the push to get up higher, and then a failed breakdown just down below here, below 50 would be good to see if I can get like a hard snap down and through to catch up to the NQ, to the S&Ps, to get down to that high, which is down here at that green line. So we got up to 70, not quite 80, but 70 is good. It's definitely pushing up, trying to accelerate. If it's not gonna, if the bid's gonna give up and there's gonna just be a hard snap to the downside, I want to be involved. I want to get in that, and then I want to see what kind of downside pressure we could get out of it. If not, it's gonna just continue to rip up. Microsoft pulling back again. Nvidia still pushing up towards 119. I remember the other day we had that 120 level in Nvidia. That was our sell point. It was like the make or break point, but I think that it's not going to get there right now. Microsoft just broke down 439, trying to make and made new lows of the day. So if I could get new lows a day in NQ, that'd be great. And I would like to do it fast. Nice quick hit, be in, be out. If it wants to go downside, sellers should step in hard. It would really be sellers stepping in, profit taking from the longs, really kind of just give me that good pullback down to 20,000. Nvidia starting to sell. Microsoft trying to hold 439. And I'm going to get triggered into this. We'll see what happens.
Stop filled.
I'm in a take profit trader. Let's see if I can get in and top step X.
Order filled.
There we go. Filled. Risking 200 on that. Okay, we're down towards that white line. Very good. I want to not get snapped out, so I will go to even there. See how far down I could go. Could I get one off at 20,000 or near 20,000? Or if it's going to snap up, then I'm going to be out, right? I don't want... This should go fast. I don't want to be involved in this if it's going to snap down, grab a bunch of liquidity, and then snap back up, right? That's just not how I want to play this. I want this to go fast. I want this to be not ever in risk of being stopped out. There we go. I know it's only 36 bucks, but I'm going to secure that little bit there because something about it tells me I want to either melt off or go a lot higher real quick. Microsoft at support. I don't want to get wicked here. There we go. Still heavy. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to do that. I'll take one contract off at this white line if I can get filled. Get heavy. Get heavy for me. Yeah, I'll take my stop there if I get it.
Order
Stop filled.
We're out. Up $30. Take $30 there. 140 on the take profit combine that I'm trying as well. I just don't trust the heaviness. I mean, Microsoft held support at 439, so I wanted to be out of that. Probably could have took one off here and left the rest at the highs, but I feel like we can get a really strong push here. I'm going to give it one shot long through that. This is going to be also really quick to break even, like a really quick hitter here if it's going to go. But S&P is right to the high of that level. I'm out. I'm not doing that. I'm eliminating that trade there. Like I said, try to get that one contract off would have been nice. That was a very snappy move. I think we may start getting trappy. Just be cautious at these levels. Cautious, cautious, cautious. We're up $33 here today. We're up about 100. Could have trailed down a little bit tighter, but like I said, if this was going to do this, what it's doing now, I would have been a little happier. But that's just on me for, with these all-time high, like this pressure that I feel like we were trying all overnight. I'm not trying to get in front of that, stand in front of that, but the idea was right? If you took that with size, like that's how you make your money on that, right? With a little bit of size, take it off and you're good to go. This is a very big decision point multiple times here. Nvidia still selling. Microsoft still below 439.31. If it starts to get a bid, if Microsoft catches a bid, I could imagine that it squeezes up to high of day. I will watch it, see what happens. If Microsoft does start to catch a bid and NQ's starting to go, then potentially that could go. We never got anywhere near that level down here of the post FOMC release high, and S&P is already flushing that level, and it's VWAP. So very diverged. Relative strength is in the NQ, even in spite of the Mag 7 names pulling back, right? So I want to see if 20,000 will snap, and then we can get either a long off 20,000 or a long through the overnight high again. Could get heavy. Could get heavy through this support, but 20,000 is so close, right? I don't know if I want to play that bounce. There's a big bit of order size at 20,000. Iceberg sitting there. You can see now S&P's trying to catch a bid down here. Nvidia paused. Microsoft still not giving you a hard flush to the downside. It's giving you like that wedging base pattern there. If it snaps down, then I would expect S&Ps to snap. NQs to snap. That's the Nvidia chart. And here is our NQ. So watching this, like I said, we are going to be watching this sideways type action potentially. And Microsoft just broke down, so I want to stop sell 3 through here. I want to take one more leg to the downside, and then I want to see if I can get even at 20,000. That's what I'm going to look for here. I'm going to look and see if Microsoft continues. If Microsoft doesn't continue, then the longs are coming. But if Microsoft does continue down, we do have more downside pressure. Nvidia catching a little bit of a bounce. Not really, really great. I think this is the better move here. Just quick to 20,000 at least, and then see where it goes through. If I can get to, even if it gets to 20,000, that'd be great.
Order filled.
Yeah, we're in. Get to 20,000, I can get to even. If we get over this candle here, I should get out.
At 10 a.m. Eastern time, get US existing homes.
Get down to 20,000. There we go. We're at 20,000. We snapped it. There we go. Very nice. I'm going to get over 20,000 and 1 for myself for a bounce. But if it continues to flush, we're going to try and get paid on this. You know what? Yeah. 20, I'll take that. 102 on the day there. These are micros, right? So I could have gotten and held more there, but I didn't have the plan to get, one contract off and then do further downside. But there goes Nvidia to the downside a little bit. Microsoft broke down. That was really the key to that trade there. Just a quick momentum catch, $70, $100 on that and move on. Obviously, I think that we're going to get some further pressure on this potentially. I just don't trust that first initial breakdown, right? I want to see maybe now a retest of that 20,017 and then see if we can get either a rotation or if we're going to come back down. This probably doesn't go right away. It could still keep going. So the short here from the high made a lot of sense, right? To keep that and hold it, that retest, I could have shorted that secondary touch of the overnight high. That was the play right there. Hopefully some of you were able to catch it. We are up on the day, up $102 again. That's a good start to the day. This is the trade idea, right? If I leave that alone, on this short, right? This first initial short, and I just leave my stop at high of day, we have that pull down here. Really, really nice, clean move, right? From here all the way down through 20,000, just giving that bit of a move there, 85 points. For me to be green on this, kind of playing against that grain of that snap to the high side. That's it. Yeah, I'm cool with kind of just taking my base hits on a day like today. I do think that there's going to be follow through now that the FOMC has come out. We have that rate cut. We are now in that bearish side of this trend line, right? We have longs that are in long from that 80. So from 680, this is where that real buying started to come in. What goes on here? Do we come all the way down to VWAP? The normal strategy here. Could I have gotten paid today? Yes, I could have. Am I, satisfied with the way I've managed these positions? Absolutely. Just purely based on this being such a strong rally and the unreasonable capitulatory type of momentum that I feel like we could have gotten on the open, just based on that final buy the rumor, sell the news type of move. That could have been it overnight. However, we did open. We cleaned up that overnight high, right, into that level, pulled back off of it, rallied through it. We could have seen this short. And I do think that 20,000 is going to be a very interesting point of interest at this point now, too. So just be cautious. Microsoft still heavy. NVIDIA trying to bounce a little bit. S&P's below VWAP. NQ, as you can see, well above VWAP. Well, actually, let's make sure of that. Yes, we are. Trading just 3 micros. I was considering doing a 5 contract guy here, shedding off 2 or 3 at 20,000 and then letting the rest ride it even. I didn't do that. Still going to stay with that 3 contract size. Get myself back into a good rhythm. I do like the idea is if Microsoft catches a bid and gets back into that pre-market range between like 437. I mean, we're still in it. We're kind of right at pre-market support levels at 437. So if we get 437 to hold and start to rotate back up, you could see Microsoft maybe try and make new pre-market, like breakthrough pre-market highs again at 440-ish. NVIDIA is holding 118 currently, trying to hold above it. So potentially you can see, like I said, that breakdown, retest to 20,000. Could that lead to further downside? Or is this a trap of the shorts to squeeze through 20,000, squeeze through longs? I think that this line right here, this white line that I drew up, from this breakout point could be an interesting level, right? I shorted it through there. I think coming back to it, retesting it does make sense. Possibly could rotate us down, but you got to watch Microsoft. You got to watch NVIDIA. I think some of these things.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get US.
Hell yeah, Leezy. Well done. Well done, sir. Good job. We got 5 minutes till 9 o'clock. I am going to hold off.
3.5 million. US existing home sales change. Forecast -1.27% on the prior 1.3%. US leading index change month on month. Forecast -0.3% on the prior -0.6%.
I'm proud of you, Leezy. That's really good stuff. Taking those payouts, doing your thing. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. Just steady, slow, make your gains. I would start recording some of your trading routine just in case. Yeah, it should. Realistically, I would just make sure, start recording your trading sessions after the fact. If it's going to be you trading that account, if they deny it, that's probably what they're going to ask for. Apparently, that's what they do. I don't see it being a huge issue, but, I think if it is an issue, then you just do the recording thing and then they'll approve that previous payout. So either way, I think it'll be fine. Not that I don't trade with them because I don't like that payout policy stuff, but at the same time, fucking make your money, dude. Who cares? I do like the long idea if this does hold. I'm going to go long through 22. Yeah, absolutely. Who cares who it comes from? Like all these people with all these the hate on it. I don't care where you get paid from, as long as you get paid. Come back down, test 20,000. If 20,000 gives up, then I would anticipate this to roll over. If not, if 20,000 holds, I want this to squeeze up through the highs. And I'm not a breakout person, but I would like to see if this will snap up, and then I'll get to even, and then I'll see how far I can take it. I think there is buyers to be had here. This flush of 20,000 feels like a trap to me. If it does go down again through it, then good, but still doesn't feel right. Microsoft is holding in that pre-market range. Nvidia is pulling back off that 118.47, 118.50 area, but just going to be 8:57. It's 3 minutes till 9. I'm not going to break my rules, but if it does want to go and absolutely capitulate at 9 o'clock, I want to have this order out here. S&P is catching a bid. I really would like this to go long. I would like it to hold down here until 9. Get down here below 20,000, hold around 20,000, 9 o'clock come and just, go to the moon. That'd be great. I think we got more upside in us. One minute till 9 o'clock.
Our lead with US existing home sales.
I want this to be down. Get down through 20,000. That'd be good. Microsoft trying to make new low a day again. There it goes to the downside. I think this is trappy, very trappy. Let's see if 9 o'clock brings me some joy. A squeeze to the upside at 9. I feel like that's what's coming. I feel like we're trapping people around that 20,000 mark. Manipulation, and then like the failure, the lack of follow through for this to be melting off. S&P is kind of pulling up. Microsoft not making new lows. Nvidia trying to make highs. I think we can get through this level here. See at 9 o'clock even probably gives you that squeeze pop. I'll see what happens. I'm going to see if I get triggered into this, how far we will go if I do get triggered in.
10 seconds.
10 seconds till existing home sales, which doesn't really make a difference to me, but could drive algos. So just be mindful of that. Here we go. 9 o'clock. Active back again.
Lower than forecast, 3.9 million. Existing home sales change, minus 2.5%, minus 2.5%. Lower than forecast, minus 1.27%. And US leading index change month on month, minus 0.2%, minus 0.2%. Higher than forecast, minus 0.2%.
All right, higher than forecast and lower than forecast. Mixed bag. I think we could see if Microsoft goes for a bounce or if it's going to melt off through the lows. But I feel good about this long idea if we do get any sort of bounce from the softy. Man. S&P is running higher. It led us to the downside. We pulled down with Nvidia, never made it through. I have my buy area intentionally over this whole structure. I didn't want to get in, just wicked in. I do feel like if we can hold over 20,000, then the longs do come back. But if they don't, I don't get triggered, right? And then the shorts can continue on down through 20,000. But I don't want to play with 20,000. I want to be away from it. I want to kind of extend. And then if we can get another failure of the overnight high, I would love that as well. 20,000, playing with that. Nvidia getting a little bit of consolidation where it's at. Microsoft holding the low, still holding that 37, 437. Could find that bounce from 437. That's a good area for Microsoft to get squeezy. And then Nvidia, I want Nvidia up to 120, to be honest. If I could get through here, I would anticipate overnight highs breaking. 50-50 on the tilt. All right, let's see what happens here. Microsoft catching a little bit of a bounce.
US existing home sales report and the US leading index report on the feed for all those interested.
Do we get a squeeze or do we get the flush? Squeezes. Squeeze me. S&P still going upside. I want to see this at that blue line. That'd be great. Get to the blue line. I would expect that to have followed through already if it was going to go, right? Or you'd want it to go already. Get on up. There we go. Nice little push. I'm going to set my hotkeys for only ones. And I'm going to get this to go if it's going to go. If it's not going to go, it's probably going to get stopped just below that 17 level. No. 20,000 still.
Order filled.
Uh-oh, I had a hotkey set in that other platform. Didn't know that. I was trying to get to break even on this one. All right.
Stop filled.
That's okay. I guess it's so hard to trade multiple things at a time. If you're on the wrong screen, it usually screws you up. All right. So we are pushing, squeezing. The idea coming into play, you know, it was the right idea, holding 20,000, breaking back above 20,020. I am at even. I think if it snaps me out, so be it. I'm down below this structure here. If it does snap below this structure, come take me out, then it does. You know, I should be looking to see money, take money kind of ideas. So maybe I'd take one off, but it doesn't really matter, honestly, when it comes to micros. I want to let this trade breathe a little bit. Nvidia got right to resistance and it's holding it. If it can snap through that high at 118.69, then I could get this to squeeze. And if we get squeezed through the high, then that would be good, but we're out up 120. So got stopped out. Kind of mismanaged that other trade of 8 position because I didn't realize I had a hotkey set in there. So that's not good. This didn't follow through as strongly as I wanted it to. I'm not really good at the breakout, right? Like that follow through to the breakout. I want it to go quicker. Nvidia kind of ran into resistance. So maybe if we pull back down through that 17 level again, I could try and get myself a long opportunity. Otherwise, it's probably going to squeeze now. And then I'm going to be just out of that position, just a little bit untrusting of what's going on currently in this market. I feel like the long does want to play. Like this does feel like it trapped some people through 20,000, grabbed a bunch of orders, and then snapped up, right? Like the way we anticipated to snap up, and it just didn't follow through right away, right? I wanted this to follow through kind of quick. It didn't. It's all good. And if we can get that rotation again from the overnight highs, I could look to short it down back again towards 20,000, but it would have to give me some sort of good setup. Try to manage two places at once.
US Treasury yields pair gains after weak US existing home sales. 2-year yield last flat at 3.61%.
Protect your trades from macro headline risk with Financial Juice Pro. Now only $99 a year for our real-time service.
I didn't. So I don't even have my hotkeys set on Tradeovate, and it used it. I guess whatever. I don't know how that is possible, but that's cool. We're up 122 on the day. Could be up slightly more based on this trade here. If I could let it just breathe a little bit, it's cool. But I still feel like downside pressure wants to come in. I have a short bias, unfortunately. Can't deny it. So just trying to do my best to allow this to hold. Maybe I could have held this one a little bit longer. Just seeing that Microsoft has this strength built up. I was talking about how Microsoft could hold 437 and find a bounce from there, and beautiful bounce off of 437 it was right there. You can see Microsoft holding that low. The low is from here, that pre-market level, that support kind of popped up into there, and it held that support all morning session. The only other issue I have with the long is that NVIDIA has run its head up against this 118.69 level, and I really don't, the lack of follow through in this NQ to the high side gives me an indication that we may want to break down back through this 2017 level. Maybe if we come sideways, maybe if we get up over this overnight high again, that would be interesting as well. And it's not a perfect science here. This is zones. Agua. Thank you. All right, the heaviness is coming back. I'm going to go selling this through that level again and see if it'll take us down through 20,000. It should, if it's going to go through 20,000, it should snap down. If it's not going to go, I'm going to probably get out up over here in that 30s. Because Microsoft just got a heavy sell from that 438.50 level. If it approaches back towards 437, I will be cautious. If we're holding, if we're still selling, then we should be good. NVIDIA gave a hard whippy sell there. We ran right into this trend line support. I wanted to kind of front run that and get out, get it out. I have like that emergency stop well up high, so it's not. I'm not using a stop. It's up here. These micros extend out a bit. Yay. That heaviness tricked me a bit, but I think we're still safe for just a few more minutes. I think we're still good. NVIDIA still wants to be heavy, and that's really the big key to the Mag 7 is the NVIDIA trade. If NVIDIA is not going to hold up on highs and start to squeeze up, then we're not going to be able to make money on it. Most people aren't going to make money on it, so they're going to start to sell out of it. We're going to be down a little bit on the day here because if we squeeze overnight highs, I'm going to get out. Yeah, I don't want to be in if that's going to be the case. Because if this is going to squeeze out, I don't want it. Microsoft's starting to buy a little bit. Yep. I tried something there. Didn't really work out. We are getting right to the high of that candle there. That was very snappy. Come on down. I'm going to let it do its thing. It's probably going to whip me out, and then run to the downside. So I'm going to hold off. I'll probably look to re-enter if it does get me out. That long idea was awesome, by the way, if you took a long there. If you faded me, that was great. Because now it's actually giving you that pop. But Microsoft not giving you follow through. So maybe this overnight high access resistance. We'll see. But NVIDIA's starting to step up. They tricked me. They trapped me with the snappy move to the downside on the Mag 7 names. I did my best to try this trade here, let it do its thing. It looks like it wants to go to the high side with NVIDIA, trying to snap through the high of this little consolidation at 118. But if it fails 118.69, then I should get some good selling coming. So I don't want to get out of it yet. I do like to let this stop do its thing. If it whips me out, then it's fine. I'll look to see if I could get an entry up here for a short idea. But I don't want to get out in case it does give me my sell because of the lack of follow through. But like I said, the Microsoft push to the higher end and NVIDIA trying to break this level. If it does break it, it's going to snap and it's going to go hard. That was a perfect touch of that trend line. In the money really quick and then out of the money really quick. We can get back down, sell from here a little bit. Nah, it's tricky location. Well, I picked a good stop location. If it's going to go through here, it's probably going to be snappy. It's going to give you a hard snap up, probably even further up into these wicks. There's a push, so that's that continuation there. So slightly down now on the day, which is fine. We can still get this opportunity to play out if NVIDIA doesn't hold over 118.69. Microsoft, same deal, pushing upside still. So that upside potential is still there. I did like the longs, and I got trapped in this wick here. So that was on me for getting trapped and playing that level when I had that long idea before off of that same level.
So RIA, citing Russia's following,
All right.
says EU Parliament calls for strikes on Russia with Western arms, which leads to global nuclear.
This is there in case we get that hard snap. NVIDIA not giving like a squeeze through that level, so it's okay right now. It's starting to get a little bit of a bid, but it's not like it's just holding. It's not doing anything, where you'd see explosive moves out of it. Microsoft trying to roll again from 438.50, which could lead us to more downside pressure, right? This I kind of anticipated if this was going to go, it should have went a much further, like snapping through the high of the day.
Treasury Secretary Yellen says the Fed's move is a very positive sign for the US economy.
Thank you, Secretary Yellen. So this idea here was the right break, retest, run. I will continue to kind of play this range until it proves otherwise. Little swing in the equity curve there. Two different trades where I could have been up just slightly more, which is okay. And then took that one loss right there, which is fine as well. I really kind of, once I saw the way that this started to build that momentum to get out of that down here, like I was talking about, that's just allowing this to rotate down. Don't do dumb sheet. Absolutely, Carlos. Absolutely. Cracked the high of the day there. Nvidia now pushing up, made new highs also.
So taking a look at the Fear and Greed Index, 67 out of 100 equaling greed. And the crypto Fear and Greed Index, 49 out of 100 equaling neutral. And looking at the VIX, currently down 9.71% at 16.4.
That long idea was fantastic through that level, right? Just thinking of it logically. This snappy move, really liked it. I liked it for a nice hard failure, kind of quick. I didn't get out of it, and we took a loss on it, which is reasonable.
Leading edge of news for non-farm payrolls? Then sign up today and get our special offer of Financial Juice Pro for a year's worth of service for the price of one.
86 I mentioned was that next level to the upside. So 86 could be that target that we're going to run into right now. Let's see, NQ1, about we actually got through it. 68 was that level, not 86. 68. My dyslexia idea. Okay, so 68 is that level, which is the high of the day, really. Before that. Okay, Microsoft creeping back up towards 439.31. That's a good area for sellers to come back in. Nvidia found a seller at 119.32. The squeeze could be in here. Watching for this, but that trend line held like really good.
At 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we get our weekly EIA natural gas change. Forecast 54 BCF on the prior build of 40 BCF.
That was really kind of the thought process on this being capitulatory to the downside, just to trap more below 20,000. That was the idea on that short. He should have kind of been at even very fast, and maybe even above this level once it went down below. Trying to let some of these positions breathe a little. Still have my sell order out there. If it wants to get down through overnight highs again, I think we could still give a rotation. However, I do think that 20,100 all-time highs could come into play. You never know. You never know. Just being a little more patient here, playing with these levels. S&P's made sense to buy through that 57, 57 area, 57, 55-ish. There's a high of, I think that 100 level comes in. Microsoft found that seller again. Nvidia pushing back upside. I think if we could fail that 120 level, right? That 120 level again, like we did last week or 2 weeks ago, could lead us to that same kind of move. Microsoft selling hard now. Does a hard move. If it's going to follow through now to the downside, then this could crack and rotate. If not, if Microsoft's going to just be that kind of snappy move to the downside and then push up, could rotate again. So watch the high of the day break down or the previous high. Another push. You can see it here. I'm going to show you guys on... That's NVIDIA running into that overhead resistance at 119.39. It could push through it up to 120. There's Microsoft selling from 439. And now I want to watch it, see if it's going to give you any follow through to the downside or if it's going to hold that uptrend. If Microsoft does push down to 437, I think we do have a really heavy move. Like, I really would love to get down to VWAP. Obviously, would be a nice little trade, but if that's the case, then I would want to see how heavy the rest of the market is to see if we get any follow through that level. There still could just be the unruly grind to the upside. NVIDIA is selling, Microsoft bidding back up. So they're diverging a bit, so you may get that consolidation. I don't actually have a book map, so I can't watch it. I am going to buy it soon, potentially, to add it to my playbook. And then I got rid of the data feed. Paying extra fees on my 2 data feeds gets costly when you're in a slump. So I left that. Quant Tower does not have that data right now, so I can't watch that feed right currently. When I get it back and decide to fund that back up a bit more, then I will. But there's no reason to be taking hits on data fees on multiple platforms for no reason. So I'm working blind-ish. NVIDIA still looks bullish. Microsoft, I think also, even though it's kind of grinding to the, grinding upside, I do feel like it is prone to a move up. And resistance at 439. Looking at this market structure here, feels like a sell, but that's just feel. NVIDIA snapped down.
At 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we get our weekly EIA natural gas change. Forecast build of 54 BCF on the prior build of 40 BCF.
$9:25 a.m. People who play that 15-minute breakout right here, they're playing the break, retest, hold potentially for that 15-minute opening range breakout. How high could it go? Nobody knows. All-time highs and beyond. And I feel like profit taking could come in at any time. That's my only thought on this potential pullback. Although this was probably all that was. Could have held these two a little bit better. This one probably could have taken a little off there, and this one I wanted to. That trail was good for the short on that one, but the first short, not allowing it to move a little bit better, was my downfall. But like I said, with the way this market is acting, the upside pressure could just take over and just continue to rally for the whole day. So 20,100. Microsoft creeping up towards that 439 level again. There's a push, snaps, move right up through 100, 125, 121 right now. Good snappy move to the upside. S&P's running right into the overnight high. See if it'll start to squeeze over that overnight high. I think there's a potential that this never looks back. And this is why I stopped out here, because I figured if we do get through there, that the longs take over. That is a very snappy move. It's holding though. For now. For now. Yeah, there's a chance it might not stop. That's my concern with everything I did this morning so far was my concern because of this. This is kind of what I saw potentially coming in. I did try to go long from that 20,000 area. I did go long, stop myself out once, then saw this. I got manipulated. I mean, clearly manipulated down here straight into that level there, and got snapped out. But it either is going to fail this 100 level and fail quickly, or it's going to continue to go and just trend. There's S&P's holding up over 57.79. That high of the day that we broke above in the NQ a while ago, right? So if it's going to lead to the upside, then S&Ps will start to catch up. How high up can S&Ps go? 30 minutes. Oh, well, it's the Z contract, so it's never been up here. All-time highs for this contract. Crude oil inventories are going to come out in 10 seconds. Not going to affect the equities, but it will affect crude.
Build 58 BCF, build 58 BCF, higher than the expected build of 54 BCF.
So higher than expected in the crude oil inventories, potentially lead to downside pressure in oil. Let's see. Nothing. No movement. Get rid of that.
Eastern time, we expect comments from ECB Schnabel, who chairs a panel discussion.
Crude oil. Interesting.
Protect your trades from macro headline risk with Financial Juice Pro. Now only $99 a year for our real-time service.
Yeah, I don't have an entry idea for this. Very happy that I got stopped at the overnight high, honestly. Could have been happier if I just never took that entry, but that's just what I had to take it based on the idea that I was looking for. Microsoft over that 439.30. Nvidia is still kind of giving you like a high basing pattern with 119.39. I would like to see 120 come into play for NVIDIA. This is a rocket ship. I think oil could roll with a build of that kind of magnitude. So you could try a short in crude. Oh, that wasn't crude. What is this? EIA? Natural gas. See, that's what happens. But even though crude could act off of that also, natural gas. See what happens? There we go. Natural gas inventories. I don't know how much it is per tick. I don't know how much I could risk. I'm not playing with natural gas, but it does seem rangy, right? Higher than expected inventories could lead to selling, but also reverse psychology could lead to higher prices. Sell the rumor by the news. Start watching some of these other instruments through their news releases. Now that the FOMC has been done and over with, and people are now going to start, what's the next catalyst? What's the next driver? This is just going to be the election now moving forward. Obviously, the next FOMC meeting, they're going to want to see how many more rate cuts are we going to get this year. The way Powell talked yesterday, it didn't seem like it was going to be a guarantee that another cut comes in, especially with the 50 basis points right there. That was interesting, right, for what we had. I mean, it was priced in, so it wasn't like a surprise. But at the same time, it was slightly higher than, just the regular old 25-point basis cut. So that leads me to believe that maybe they do cut one more time this year, but do they cut next meeting, or do they wait a whole, another meeting and do it then? Microsoft pushing higher again, and now it's interesting how you get that little bit of a disconnect because NVIDIA pulling back in the consolidation that it has been in for, since about 9/18. 9/15. We're going to watch to see, does this hold? If this holds and more upside, I'm not going to just play a break of it. I'm going to wait to see what happens. Maybe see if that's an area for a bounce. I really liked the long, and I trapped myself for a short. It was very interesting what I did to myself there, because I did think that there's more pain to the upside. The fear greed is at 67. So we're in that greed territory, pushing in towards that extreme greed. So once we get into that, capitulatory top potentially, then I could anticipate selling to come in, with that extreme greed. But that's maybe down the line a little bit. Took one loser there. Took a couple pretty good trades. Short here, short through this, long through here, and then stopped out. And then I tried to go the short here, got trapped, and stopped out at overnight highs. I do feel like there is more highs to come. But if we start to see S&Ps lead us to the downside through the overnight high, then potentially could start to see NQ pull back towards the overnight high as well. NVIDIA did find a seller at 119.39. Microsoft not following through 440, which is high pre-market highs before right up into the open. So pre-market highs 440.02. Can we rotate Microsoft back down through 439.30 and start to see this push back into the lows? I would expect maybe one bounce from here from 120, and then see if we make a lower high. Then potentially that could be an indication of the next breakdown being the one. Until then, I'm going to be holding off, being patient, letting this thing tell me what to do. And let the S&Ps kind of tell a story as well. Let the S&Ps tell you if it's going to hold overnight highs or not. If it does, then this continuation does still seem likely. Could short through here on the S&P chart, but that's just on the S&Ps. See if this first one bounces, gives you a push up into 140, and then you can look to short that low of 120. You can see this still holding, especially with NVIDIA and Microsoft at support. I want to trap, so I want to see if it'll trap through 120, and it might go long back into this trend. And try some momentum work today. NVIDIA found support. Microsoft still trying to fight with 439.35. S&P's holding overnight highs. Like I said, use these to help you make a decision on where you're at, right? Does this feel like a sell? Potentially. However, it does also feel like S&P's is trying to hold this level. If it does give you a snap down, pop back up, hold and rotate, then this probably does the same thing, but just at a higher level here, right? You know, it's all good. If we could pull all the way down to overnight highs, then that long could come in as well. Microsoft broke the 439. The buyer gave up at 439.30, so watch out. I'm going to buy through this high if it goes. $120 was support. It feels bullish. Obviously.
Order filled.
I'll buy it there. Using that trend line as my friend here. If this cracks this blue line then and like holds, then we're gonna have to get out of this. It feels okay so far. Nope, there it goes. Manipulation through 120. Does it hold? Come on now, get back up. Out. Out on that. Alrighty. Tried my best at a bounce play. I'm not, like I said, I'm not the best at these bounce play ideas. It's not my best play. Still have room there. A little bit out of rhythm. Still got a couple trades left in me. Bullets in the gun. Microsoft sold through 439. NVIDIA holding 118.69. Feel the pressure building. Sell side move. The short through that S&P blue there, the overnight high. So far, so good for those shorts. 64% short on the tilt on the NASDAQ. Does it pull all the way down into this support here from wick to wick? 20,100. I bought the exact high of that candle.
Fitch Ratings says the US housing market needs more Fed rate cuts to boost supply and affordability.
Do you want to stay up to date with the latest in housing independent non-farm payrolls? Then sign up today and get our special offer of Financial Juice Pro. 4 years worth of service for the price of 1 month. That's 92%.
Nvidia still kind of consolidating over 118.69. Microsoft holding support. This little trend line support, but not doing great. So let's see if we can go long through 120s here. If it goes back through 120s. Stop by 3. If not, then I'm going to hold off on it. But we'll see what happens here. Feel like the harder trade continues to be the upside. I feel like there's just further and further, people trying to pick the top and short. That was always my issue. So, I do have a good feel for tops and bottoms a lot of times, but today, like I said, it feels like it could be a capitulation type day, which it already kind of is with the way we've ran up pre-market and just held the highs. 20,100 is holding. Some size there, 85 contracts. This is the micro, so it's not like huge indication. I want to see if I can get through 120, see if we snap up over this again. Give me like a little bit of a squeeze push through it. Or if it's going to sell, if Microsoft's going to sell from 439.31, then it is what it is. Holding over that overnight, holding below the overnight low, which is misleading. $100's tag there on the short side, so that first trend line breakdown was definitely key. See if this new, that bottom of the wick, if this bottom of the wick is going to be 100 or if it's going to continue to sell. If we continue to sell through overnight highs, I will see if we hold and start to rotate that back down as well. That could be interesting. But I still think bullish through 120. That held that again, right? Wick. See if it bounces from here or if it continues to flush. Looks like it's getting heavy. Microsoft selling, Nvidia selling through key structure points. So I'm going to cut that. Does this continue down? Do we just continue that heavy push? Microsoft got like a snap move and then has just rotated back down through 439 and is now, finding that support at a trend line as well. So potentially if it does break down that, you could see some more heavy pressure into overnight lows, overnight highs, and then we'll see if we can get a flush through it or if we're going to continue to hold and rotate back higher. Nvidia holding support at 118.70. Just patience.
Stop filled.
What in the world is going on? Where is there a stop? Oh, God. Okay. I had an order out in take profit. So let's see if that one plays out. That's kind of what I was looking to play here if it was going to play. If not, no big deal. And that's going to get stopped out because it was unplanned.
Stop filled.
Yeah, that was not necessary. Always make sure you know what's out on your order book. If you have orders out, make sure you're aware of them. I had that set from before and I forgot to take it off. I took it off on here, but I didn't take it off there. I do like the long idea if it does want to go back up still because it's just a grinding upside market type play. Against 100. Trying to be patient, trying not to get myself all chopped up in this. I do like the long idea. I'll play that.
Order filled.
Stop's going to be down here. Microsoft really doesn't like that 439 right now. Come on, get back over 100. I'm going to get stopped out below it. Yes, I am.
Order filled.
Because I don't have enough bullets in the gun to do that again. Just playing stupid right now. So I'm just going to chill out. Let myself get to 10 o'clock. See what happens around 10. See if I can get back to my levels. So going green to red. And then now just taking subpar setups. Could it go now? It could, but realistically, this is not a zone that I really want to be involved in. The real breakdown was in that level there. So we had two good ideas. The short from the overnight high, come that retest, and then the failure. And then also the short through 17 took that as well since we were stopped on that other one. So 2 good trades there. And then on a long through here, which was also a solid idea, and then did not allow it to breathe at all for that 20,000 hold, right? That's really where I got myself into that first bit of a loss, right? Took my loss there. And now I've kind of just bounced back and forth looking at the trade setups. So last week was a good week. This week has been choppy for me. I didn't trade the 17th at all. Traded one trade on yesterday. Just tried to get something going. Nothing really came to fruition, so I locked out quick. And now today we've had this bit of a did all right, and then took a couple losers that have just chopped us a little bit. So it's all good. Just trying to do our best to maybe find that new area of interest for me to get some back here. Down even lower on size. Going to go down to 2 contracts. Why is this here again? I don't understand. Sometimes Top Step X, like, I delete things, I move things around, and I come back to it, and it's completely in a different location or still there. So there's some sloppiness on the charts. I wouldn't be surprised if we do find a bid somewhere around that overnight high. I normally like to fade overnight highs on failed breakouts, but this doesn't necessarily quantify failed breakout per se. If we do start to see S&Ps to break down towards the 57, 56 area, I would be interested in that. But I want to see opening range was here, 830 right there. So the high of that opening range block was there, the low of it was there, so we can see what happens around that zone for there to be a long opportunity. With the S&Ps, the opening range is, we're below the opening range currently in the S&Ps, so we are diverged. Just a bit of getting myself into opportunities at the highs where I didn't like to play. Stay disciplined to your levels. Don't do dumb shit, right? That's the motto here. Right now, I'm just in up and down mode for September so far. This idea was good. I really like this long from this 20,070. I got to start letting some of these things play. Realistically, I'm not, in that mode right now. Kind of, I've been going down, up in this account. So just looking to kind of find a groove. Last week we did really, really well. Found that groove this week. Started the week off with just a light sloppiness, and then things I didn't mean to. Not that I didn't mean to. I didn't do things that were gonna be detrimental. Just taking the paper cuts instead of allowing certain things to play is really what's going down with those moves. Holding. I could even go down to 1 micro for the rest of, trying these ideas out here. I want to see what happens with this overnight high. I don't necessarily trust the first break of it to flush down, right? Same as how we saw this here in the S&Ps. we still have yet to come down to that high where the FOMC, the top of that candle was, that data release. So could still see that get retested. Which would give us opportunity here. I feel like just there's a balance to be had off of this. Like I would like a trap below the overnight high. Give me a hard snap through the overnight high. I'll try and see if the low of the opening range holds, and then see if we can get, maybe even to this trend line area down into 20,017 for the bidders to come back in. Right, that's where the buyer stepped in before. That's where we had that manipulation candle down there below. It's so funny because I was, talking about how this short could come in down to overnight highs, could take those shorts every single time, but I just don't. And I pay the price. I want to snap down below this. Give me some sort of volume breakdown where I can at least say if it's going to continue, it should keep going. If not, it's going to fail and rotate the other way. If this is just going to be a tap and a go, then I'm not going to be able to take it, right? I want to see it get into the box somehow. Try and pretend to accept down here and then pop us back up.
US to sell $44 billion in 7-year notes on September 26th to settle on September 30th, and to sell $69 billion in 2-year notes on September 24th to settle on September 30th. US to sell $28 billion in reopened 2-year notes on September 25th to settle on September 27th.
So how I'm going to structure this, I'm going to start with one, and then I'm in this range somewhere. If I see a manipulation candle that will allow me entry, and then if I start to see continuation to the upside, I may start to add micros on the way up and see if I can start to structure a scale in type move, just for the longs on that. Right, this is a break, retest, come back in. We're testing this area. I want to see if the low will get tested, or if we get into this area here, then I'll start to rotate longs through, up in this area here. But I want to see something maybe higher volume, right? Like how this high volume here was the top. The higher volume node here was basically where we were starting to see the top. I want to see something like that on the bottom, something manipulative. I couldn't hate seeing Microsoft down towards 437.77, 437.80s. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy this here, and I'm going to scale into it as I see fit. We have $100 to play with, so anything below, right down 20,000. Trading that micro, allowing that thing to go. See where it happens with it. my structure for another entry for a long would probably be up over 20,100, right? Something around here. Just seeing if there's like a consolidated setup to push up through there as well. See if I get a longer hold through all time through the high of the day, right? Want to try and break through the high of the day there. That would be the idea for this long, if this is going to be correct. If this is just going to be a permanent bleed, then we're going to not be able to get into that, right? Allow 1 micro to work for me. We are breaking above this previous swing high here. I'm going to try and see if this will be a higher low. See if this opening range will hold. That's really kind of what I'm looking to see what happens. So that idea is working out, right? Trying to see if we hold this level here. See if we can start to get, Microsoft to push up, NVIDIA to push up now that they've found structure. S&P's trying to get back to the opening range. See what happens if it retests the opening range or if it gets over overnight highs first. If it gets over overnight highs, it looks like I'm going to get a second contract in on this. If we do that, I'm going to have to move my stop, to there or even further. I think if we get through 100, we squeeze. That's why I have that there. Probably should wait for a setup and then get in. So you know what I'm going to do? I'll wait. I'll wait for a setup and then I'll get in on that. Probably should go to even on this. Up basically 1-to-1 on it. 100 is a good area for resistance. There's the breakthrough. So I had that contract added there. Let's see if it gives me an opportunity for, a break, consolidate or something, and then I could look for a break above that again and start to add into the longs. The delta is moving up a little bit, so this is a very good execution here for this idea with this 1 micro. See if we can hold it a little longer. Be patient with it. Oh, Microsoft and everything kind of snapped down there. So let's see if this 100 holds. If 100 holds, then the break above this could give you a nice little move. There it goes. I want to see what happens at the highs. That's really where I'm targeting. That would be 100 points with a micro. Nope. Microsoft trying its best to give you a little snapback, and NQ is still relatively strong compared. So if that does continue to go up, we still have that strength. I probably will move my stop to 100 if we can break and crack that, because I don't feel like it should come back to that. If it does break above 110, try to chip into my my drawdown a little bit, give myself another opportunity to scale into something. Nope, I'll hold this. Still holding 100. NVIDIA looked like it wants to get, if NVIDIA could get up over 119, we could get a little pop. There we go. Managing this one well so far. I don't want it to come all the way back on me. That'd be terrible. But like I said, trying to chip into this drawdown a bit based on this being like a really good area for there to be like a pullback bounce and then a really decent rally through it. That's why I'm trying to hold it as long as I possibly can. with NVIDIA trying to hold through 119. If NVIDIA does give me a snap down, I'll probably give this an out. You know, get back some of my cash here. Give myself another opportunity for my next trade. So 55 there. So we are at even. Microsoft tried to push down heavy, and we didn't get the follow through here yet. 119 again. We're back above it in NVIDIA. Microsoft trying to make another low through this little support level, so I don't want to necessarily hold through that. That was a really nice snappy move down. That's probably going to snap us out at even. So this was a lesson learned. Lesson learned there. Really heavy. Got to use that. As soon as I saw that snap move down, you got to get out of that. So try my best to manage these positions well with this with these micros, but it's hard because I don't trail as tight. Man, I did a really good job of finding that bottom, executing that trade, and then rotating it. I'm not going to chase it now. Just the Microsoft just really blew that trade up. That snapped down to Microsoft, snapped us out at even, and then we are now out, and it's gonna push up again. Took the short through with 100. Technically, it wasn't a fade. Technically, it was actually the right trade. I said it was gonna snap down right as Microsoft snapped it. Unless you were short down here, then you're burnt. I like that idea still. See if we can get through 100. Or if it's going to be another, chop sideways kind of action there. There's that heaviness. Still trying to be heavy. $10.10. Nothing doing right now. Was long from basically the very top of this right here. Took it long, got snapped out of even, being up 50 points on that. That Microsoft flush trapped us. What in the world is that? Oh. There's 100. 98, a bunch of fills. Larger fills. Nothing huge at that 100 spot. I'll play momentum here. Still hunting that high of the day. If this is going to be the high or low. If we break through this high again, I'll snap another one on. And snap one off. Up at this level here, like 130. Microsoft just want us to mess with me right now. Microsoft looking like it wants to break above again, but it's just kind of holding here at 438.62. It needs to get up over that level for me to get some more momentum on this. If we hold 100, then I think that we can still do that. But Nvidia's trying to fucking sell from 119, and Microsoft looks like it wants to get up over that. So, I mean, like I said, I will add one over that level there at 109, and then I'm going to try and snap one off. Maybe. No, I'll hold it, and then I'll just break even again. Microsoft's still pushing up. Nvidia just giving a little bit of a fade, but could still pop up over 119. And if it does, then I would like to see 120s come in, and then we could hopefully get to highs.
Fed bids for 4-week bills total $270 million.
If I see a snappy move in Microsoft to the downside, I'm going to get out all of everything. If it snaps up, then that'll be good, but it seems like it's very correlated to Microsoft today.
Do you want to stay up to date with the latest coming on the bleeding edge news for non-farm payrolls? Then sign up today and get our special offer, Financial Use Pro, for a year's worth of our service.
Decent bids getting filled
92%.
at 103, 105. See if we break through this high, or if Microsoft's going to snap down and we're going to get trapped into this second contract. It still feels like the bids are getting held up right now. Nvidia's getting strong. Microsoft's still holding up, not breaking down quite yet, not giving me that hard snappy move. That snap move to downside felt like a short trap. That's a reason why I wanted to take this. All right, so we got 2 on now. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this. I don't want to be in anymore if it's below that. So let's see if we could use that to our advantage. Microsoft pushing, Nvidia pushing. Let's see if we can get that full push to highs. And I can start to trail and trim. Actually, if we break high of the day, that would be kind of silly if I took one off, right? So let me get to even. So now it's a free trade for me. This should at least, if it's going to be momentum, it's going to keep going. Microsoft, don't you do it to me. I will sell one if I start to get heaviness through 120. Well, yeah. Well, 120 should not come. It should not come back to 120 at this point. This is that momentum break. Let's see if S&Ps can get up over that overnight high. That'd be great. That'd be real great. Thank you, S&Ps. I don't like that. Microsoft, get up over that 439, please. S&P's still strong. Nvidia's still strong over 119. Still got that strength pushing upside. I'm gonna wait on this back to even real quick. See what happens with Microsoft at 439. I don't want to get snapped out and then it run on me. Did this again. 120. There it goes. Snapping down. Momentum people like to hold this. So let's see if momentum people pays out. Because realistically, that's crazy that it pulls back that far, right, on that kind of move. Get up over 120 again. There we go. A little liquidity grab potentially. Because Microsoft's pushing, trying to get through that high. Just for that snap move to be more of a trap, I feel like. For me personally, if it's going to come all the way back down, then it's on me, right? But technically speaking, we're still safe. Trying to let these micros work for me. Now, if we get through this high again, then I can get myself to that same spot and not feel like I'm going to get sniped. Right below 120. You gotta let that get through that though. It's gotta be below that. You don't want that candle to get filled. Nvidia is trying to get strong, right? I need Nvidia to get up over 119.39. If Microsoft can clear 439.30, then we should get this to continue to rally for the rest of the day, maybe. That'd be great.
Sells $80 billion in 4-week bills. Prior high yield 4.965%.
I don't want that bottom to get swept. Microsoft's trying to push through highs now, so if this doesn't go now, then I don't want it to come back and snap me out. So now we're good. Now I can stay right below that candle there. If it doesn't go, then screw it. That's how I should be managing all my positions. Microsoft's strong. Nvidia's strong. So this shouldn't come back to this level here. I want to see it up into that 160, 20,160 level. If it, that's really where I need this to get. If S&Ps could get up over the overnight highs, then really this should keep going, right? It's not following through. It's got to go. It's got to go. Got to go. Got to go. This wick here, 120. Nvidia pushing to high of day. If Nvidia can break high of day, we go to 120, dude. How about that? Why not now? Why not now? Just talk to your trades sometimes. Maybe it helps you work through them. Microsoft pulled back off that level. Snap right down through it. Now pop right back up. Pop its head right back over 439.40. Still going. Maybe even consider adding through 134 if it goes. That's kind of whippy there. Does feel like it wants to grab some orders and keep going upside. But also, there's S&Ps looking like it wants to get to that level. I'm not going to add, but technically, momentum trade through 135 does look like a good add for this to continue further if this is going to be a momentum type trade. Right? Flat base, momentum push. If it breaks that 35 level, you would expect another momentum push, especially if NVIDIA can make a new high of the day. That's where you would want that same type of snap move. If it's just going to snap down, up and down, then you could get in, basically be at even at that trade and then have a free position, but still looks like it wants to hold this. If it does pop that head above there again, I will take another one based on this manipulation here. And I will go right up into there for a stop out. So basically at even on it. If it stops me out, then it's, fine. Like I said, if it snaps through here, I will look to get pretty close to even. I mean, like on that buy. So really, I would lose not much on this trade, couple bucks, $10, but the prospect of gaining more on it does make sense.
Order filled.
Well, we're at even, I guess. You would expect that to go quickly, though, right? Get going, dude. Right now is a good time to get going. There we go. So that's how you manage that ad right there. Let's see if we can get more out of it. This way we can secure a bit more profits. Instead of taking them off, I'm adding them. So that's the power of the micro as well. I think we could approach high of day if we can get closer. If we get through 42s, I want to snap to 60s, and then we'll see if we can just then start trailing up at those highs.
It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The US sells $80 billion in 4-week bills. Prior high
Euro close about to come in too, so profit taking could come in, or they're going to start to load into positions for more longs. So that's something I am going to be mindful for this to be. If I get stopped out on it, it's fine. I secured $80-something, but if it snaps up with this Euro close, then I'm still in it with another contract on, right? Basically right at that ad. So now it's basically that ad is either going to help me, right? Or we're going to get stopped out for a little bit of a win. Back into a W. Or should I be down here and then just snap myself out if I see it? Right? I think that's probably better. Snap myself out. Now I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back in here where the ad was, 34s, because 35 was the ad. I don't like Euro close. All right, I'll take that as a solid W there for mismanaging this one. I took this long right here, and then I let it come all the way back, stop me at even, re-entered, and then I re-entered at 100, and then I added again at 110, and then I added again at 134, and I just got stopped out basically at even on that 134. So, that trade netted us a little over $100, which is fair there, good. This is also the type of pattern I see for a fail breakdown. So if this does tend to fail, right, then you could see that rotate back down the other direction. Microsoft and NVIDIA are both cracking highs. Do I anticipate this to break high of day? Absolutely. But, I trailed it as I added contracts. So if I didn't add this last one on, I possibly would have been down here below this wick. So it's kind of just relative to however you want to manage your positions. That's how we do it. So got another win out of that, and see if I can get back to even on the day if I can find another good setup. I bought myself another trade with that. shrunk down to 1 micro and then just scaled into it as I went, right? All right, give me that short idea if it does want to come in. Failed that overnight high again in the S&Ps. My only concern is Nvidia is just going straight on up, and Microsoft is making this same sort of wedge pattern at the high of 439.31. So if it does snap through 439 again, 439.30, this could rotate back down, give you another type of rotation here. I want to wait for this euro close, though, that 1030 number. I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Shortly expecting the results of the 4-week Fed auction.
More coffee back in there. All right, so here's 1030 coming in. If we get a little wiggle, if we get a little price action on the Mag 7, then maybe we can get this fade going. Could stop sell 1 through that low there and see if I can get some more on it. It's holding. Watch the S&Ps at their overnight high. It's really, I mean, you can see the correlation here. Straight down, back up. We're going to watch this 160. I really wanted that 160 level for my long, at least target area. Never quite made it there. I trailed out, but that's my normal go-to, is to trail out as best I can. Currently, I'm just in grind back mode at the moment. I'm going to take the opportunities that I see. This would be more of a quick hit. I think I actually would like to go in with 2, but I'm going to hold off and do it with 1. I don't necessarily trust that it's going to come all the way back down, but I do think we can get some heaviness in. Some profit taking. 64% long on the tilt. With 1 micro, this exact fill location isn't like, I mean, unless it's a bottom tick, it's not the most important location. I just don't want to be in too early. I want this to confirm for me. So there it goes. It's breaking through the wedge a little bit. See if it gets heavy quick, or if not, Microsoft's trying its best to hold 439.35. Nvidia's pulling back as well. It's going to try and retest 119.39.
High yield 4.7%, 4.7% bid to cover ratio 2.87, 2.87. The US sells.
Microsoft's been very rotational today, so the likelihood of this breakout to the top side seems like it's less likely. It seems like it's more likely to give you a rotation, and that's why I want to see this short rotate us back down as well, just because of Microsoft's ability to do that. If not, if it's going to kind of come down here, just wick me in and then rotate right back out, then it is what it is, right? So we're going to see what happens with Microsoft. If it starts to make new highs, then I'll have to get out of this position. Yeah, I like the short idea based on Microsoft being rotational today, and Nvidia also just not giving you like really good follow through all-time high or through the high of the day. So there's that short idea playing. Let's see if it can crack through the low of 112, get us a rotation down through the lows. Same type of, there should be stops here. Add a contract. Microsoft holding below 439.31. If I see like a impulsive move to the high side, I will get out. But I feel like right now we're getting some sellers to step in. 439.05, 439.02, dancing around with that even 439 even number right now. So if we can crack through 439 even, maybe we can get some follow through on this. S&P's once again held that overnight high again. So I want to see if we can get short follow through on this. We got to see some help from Nvidia, which is holding 119.40, but it's, playing with that level. This is just not breaking down as quickly as Microsoft and as Nvidia are. So if there is any sort of bounce in those names, I think we do get a rotation up. So be careful with the high of this. I'm not going to get out of this totally until I do see something in Microsoft. Like if I see Microsoft just start to squeeze or give you a pop over 439.40, then I'm going to be out. But right now it still feels rotational, still feels like it could get down and, come into that 437 area and range, 438, and that would be really helpful for this idea to kind of play out. S&P still trying to hold opening range lows, right? It hasn't broken out of that 1 minute opening range again. If it can flush through, get back down towards VWAP, will help this NQ short as well. Microsoft, once again, ticking down, holding below that 439.31. But NQ is still relatively holding. It's holding up. I just want a nice snap move to the downside. Is that so much to ask? Just a nice snappy move. Good on you. Yeah, it's not snapping, right? It's not going like how we would like to scalp it. This is 1 micro, so it's manageable. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what Microsoft does to give me an indication. Breakdown, retest, break again. Could be the move. Microsoft now giving you a heavier move towards 439. If 439 can give up, then you might see more flush come in. There you go. Microsoft heavy. Nvidia still not holding over 119.39. So maybe we can get some selling pressure in Nvidia, get us back down to 118.60 something. That'd be great. Microsoft wicked that low that it just created and now is holding it. So 439 acting as support. If 439 could give up, the buyer steps out, then I think we could also get the buyer to get out of the NQ. It's just going to take some effort here on Microsoft's half. It's choppy right here. Lower high in S&Ps or rising wedge. We'll see. Yes, it is very choppy, but having this just be one single micro allows me to kind of really feel out the position and the timing of it better. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, the morning was clean, and I did trade them well, and then I traded them poorly, and I gave it all back. So now we're in grind out back to hopefully green day or a very small red day would be nice. I don't want to give up much more than this. Still waiting for Microsoft to do something productive for me. It's trying to get back over 439.31, but it's rejecting it at the moment. So, like I said, it's not giving me that I need to get out of this position yet because it looks still like it wants to hold. And that was a wick high there, so potentially looking to see maybe grab some stops and run back down, or if it's going to start to squeeze up, tag off on 160, I probably want to be out at that point. Dance in. It's all about this. Timing. That's what trading is. Managing your risk and timing your trades correctly based on levels and rules and whatnot. It's really all it comes down to. Gonna hover over this X here. If I see S&P start to push into that 79, that's also going to get me out. But right now, it's still safe. But NVIDIA just did break above 119.40. So it does want to break that previous high of the day again. So, but Microsoft's holding down. So, two of the three are holding us down. If NVIDIA can get back down towards 119, maybe this will start to get sell side pressure. It should, but it might not. There's always the chance that we continue to make a moon mission on the FOMC decision day before. Nope, there goes Microsoft's right straight up to that level. If it breaches that high there, then I'm out. Still good. Microsoft still holding below that level that I like. So is NVIDIA. And so is S&Ps. It's got to stay below this blue line here. Still holding below. Everything's still holding below until like I said, until I see a snap in Microsoft, then I'm gonna get out. But right now it's just kind of lingering around. Sort of like in this little pattern here. I don't like to short grind. I think the grinding this leads to buyers stepping in. It is 63% long on the tilt. It's negligible. Not like an over tilty bias to the long side currently. Try my best to hold these things a little longer, but there's Microsoft with a snap to the upside. I'm out. We'll reassess at the highs. Now Nvidia is selling. Now Microsoft selling. That was actually a really heavy sell there. We'll get short through this level here if it goes. Need to see if it's going to hold that or if that's just like a trap short. Nope, right straight back up. So that could have been a trap. That's why I set my stop order down here just in case it wants to go. Yeah, I think a big seller will step in if the buyer gives up. It's just going to be a matter of time, I guess. Stop someone through there as well. Microsoft's still like heavy, and it's just not. This is not following through with that confluence right now. So if we do start to get like an actual seller coming into here, then Microsoft will probably sell off heavier too. There it goes.
Order filled.
I mean, it's going downside for Microsoft. Microsoft's really heavy right now, so I don't think it's a bad timing. I mean, really good sell side pressure. Nvidia as well. So those are my leading indicators, right? The Mag 7 names, if they're gonna follow through, then they should keep going, right? With any sort of selling pressure from NQ. So NQ could be led by these Mag 7 names, but then also if it follows through, it could also help carry them down and give follow through to their moves, which kind of begets selling, which begets selling, which begets selling, right? So that's where I'm at right now with it. See if that'll do anything through that level, through 120. 120 is a very key structure level usually. So if that's the case, but Microsoft just returned right back up. Like you can see this. Look at that heavy sharp sell and then an immediate recovery, right? A big buyer come back in here down at 438, and then you got Nvidia looking like it wants to snap out as well. So, we're up quick and then snapping back down. It's very manipulative right now. If we can get through this low, I'm adding another one. Crazy. Those are the moves I usually get where it usually gives you some follow through. So for me, that's what I look for as far as follow through is when it's gonna give you that heavy snap. If it doesn't do it right away, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times, and then sometimes it just runs away from you. Like that's a manipulation to the downside again to try and grab more longs to go further and further and further. But I'm gonna keep waiting for my Microsoft, indicator. Like Microsoft still holding, but the last time it didn't break through, so this time I'm waiting just a split second longer to get out. It's accepting the buy side, pressure more. Obviously, like I said, with the rate cuts and all that stuff, it's just kind of that's just kind of how it goes, I guess.
Protect your trades from macro headline risks when introduced growth.
Don't be afraid to take it to 60. Microsoft's going. I'm out. All right, gave back everything I made on that really good managed long. So it's just one of those days for me. Again, good job on the long. About 10 more minutes left in the stream here. Going to try my best to find something. Failed break of the high potentially in the S&Ps once again. Watch this level here. Nvidia is making like a bull flag type looking pattern, so that's my concern with that. If we buy highs of the day, breakout type move up to 200 could be a thing. Nvidia is just breaking down. Take another sell shot at it, but a quick one. Like I said, I'll sell this again. If we approach this trend line, I'll get to even and then see if I can add a contract, and then I'm going to add through all the way through. Feel like the heaviness is coming. Oh, there we go. I'll get to even on the whole position. There we go. Let's see if we can get through that low now.
Order filled.
I'm at even. I added 3 contracts through these structure points. If they're going to go, they're going to go. If not, I'm going to get stopped out. I'm going to see if I can get this to push much further, much faster. I'll trail the 100s. There we go. Finally, a fucking sell comes in. Took forever. That 100 level's got to break down, though. S&P right to VWAP. I want to see this to the overnight highs. I'll consider taking a contract off if I can get down there. If not, I'm just going to let this thing trail out like that. Sort of frustrating because I took those couple snaps that I decided to get out of, but realistically, this is the play. I mean, I just need to get through 100. That 100 level is very key to this holding or not. And S&P is getting right to VWAP and bouncing is concerning. Nvidia is pretty heavy. Microsoft found some support, but hopefully can flush through the low to keep us going, right? I want to see this thing all the way down to this other trend line here. I'm going to start to shed out, if I can, down here at the low. I'm going to get one off here just to get one off at 71s because it feels like it could get to that and then snap. And then I can trail the rest of the position as I feel necessary. Right? If I can go red to green on this move, that'd be fantastic as well. S&P's below opening range. I want to see this all the way down to the opening range. All right. This usually with this heaviness, we don't come back over these key structure levels. So that's just my idea here on that. Yeah, fuck them. Right there over that. Shouldn't want to come over 100. If it does, oh, there we go. It's snapping. Need to get back below 100. If I get back below 100, then I'll trail to the highs of these. But that's a wiki candle. I just don't want to get manipulated out yet. Just that S&P on that VWAP pisses me off, to be honest. If it trails me out, then it's fine. Can I let it get deeper? Can I let it get deeper? How much can I hold? I will buy them out in with buy orders. Can the heaviness keep coming in? Come on, heaviness. You know you want to get through the 100 again. Fill that wick. Fill this whole wick. Nvidia is still heavy. Microsoft still holding below the highs, so I'm still okay with those two. I don't like the S&Ps trying to bounce off of VWAP. I would like it to get below VWAP and hold. I'm kind of using these levels to trade at the moment, so realistically, I don't want this to get back over a 100. If it bounces off of 100, then it's probably going to give you a hard snap to the high side, so I want to get out there. Oh, and NVIDIA giving me hopes and dreams, and Microsoft's taking them away. There we go. I'll take that. Feel like if the hold of 100 holds there, then we're going to get that out. But that's a good short. Very good short there. If it continues down, then so be it. We'll look to go long from the bottom. But realistically, I mean, I was looking for this, got it. Could have scaled into it more up in this range, and then finally got the move to the downside. Just the right now diverging between Microsoft and NVIDIA. NVIDIA is getting heavier, pushing to the downside. Microsoft still holding below. A break of 100 probably still pushes us downside. I just, like I said, I kind of needed to be the bounce of 100. The hold there kind of trapped me in there. And with the Microsoft pushing up, I couldn't hold it, but I should have. Still like that lack of holding. Look at our overdoing it today a little bit. Not crazy. But red, building our way back. We're at the bottom of the profit curve. I think we can go back the other direction. If we can find a good entry, right? 4 minutes till 11. Normally I stream till 11. I'll probably stay on a little longer today. I haven't been on this whole week. Still got $200 worth of bullets in the gun for the day. I think there's a way to get it back. Just manage these positions well. Saw this coming from a mile away. Took the short 3 times. Even and 2 small losers. And then we just took it out. Basically cover those 2 losers. Now we're trying to see if we can get ourselves another good entry maybe down at these lows for a rotational type day, right? That's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. It's rotational. S&P's just holding support here at VWAP. Opening range is this high here. This is the top end of the FOMC rate decision candle. So let's see if we can get this to either bounce off of this. if we're going to hold 100, is Microsoft going to start to bounce? NVIDIA led us to the downside, so we'll see what happens. Break retest. So this was good as far as entry down through 40, adding a second and adding a third, and then allowing it to scale into that position as a winner instead of scaling in as a loser, right? DCA. There's ways to do it. I'm pretty good at finding this momentum breakdown. I just kind of get myself into a little bit of, this one I let come all the way back on me. This one I let come back on me a lot. So realistically, and then I chop myself there a little. We're seeing the market very well. We're doing good things here. It's just a matter of getting that follow through, getting the executions. Get myself red to green today. That'd be great. Because I was green to red to green would be nice. 1 minute to 11. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
US 30-year fixed rate mortgages 6.09% September 19th week versus 6.2% prior week.
I like the buys from 100, but it's not really totally convincing. You see these wedge type patterns form, retest. They do their thing over and over and over again. You wick down through 90, you're back above 100. You got NVIDIA finding some support. You got Microsoft wedge back up. You could buy one here and see if it rotates back up. For me, though, to add on this one would be difficult unless it rotates back up into that wedge. See if this accepts into here. If it fails, this is based on the failed break of 100. Microsoft and NVIDIA both finding bids. If it came down quick, it could go back up quick. We start to break structure levels up here. Where did I add before? I added at 30 something. That's a good catch there. Very good. I'm glad I'm seeing these things well, executing them. I'm not making big money on these trades because I'm trading micros right now, but I'm executing better visual representations of what the market's doing, right? I want to see this get above this, see if it fails this, or if it's going to retest 130 and then give you that sell side pressure again. Like I said, there's nothing I really could add into right now. I don't, as far as, you could have added momentum, maybe back through 115, 120. But for me personally, like I said, I'm not really great on the long side as far as momentum breakouts are concerned. I do think that this does continue maybe to try and retest 130, but how much further does it go through that 130, right? I'm going to just trail as I see this price do what I expect it to kind of do here. Just purely based on structure points, I'm gonna just trail out a little bit, secure my $20 and see if I can get through high of the day on this. Microsoft's strong, Nvidia's strong. See if this was just a trap. One more leg to the downside, pull back, continue to rally up. I would love to see this up through high of the day, obviously, since I'm long. But I do mention this is a break retest of this trend line crack, this wedge pattern. My thing is that Nvidia and Microsoft are both pretty strong. So, to be below that there, just because if this does fail, I don't want to get back below 120s. Give that back. Can we squeeze through this retest? I might just start trading purely wedge patterns all day, every day, until it stops working. Let's see what happens if it gets to 145 or 141. Really was that breakdown point where Abby was shorting and I was shorting. Ray shorted from there, but 130 break retest. Microsoft ran right back into the high of this pattern right here. You can see that. If it can hold and continue to push, then you go. Nvidia, I took this bounce from the bottom. That's why I took this long, and now we're breaking out from highs. Overnight highs here in S&Ps. So that should be strong, helpful for this NQ, which is technically relatively strong compared to the S&Ps. So if we can continue on in the S&Ps, you continue on with the NQ. If Microsoft gives you a breakout, then we don't know how far up this could go. We'll see. Could we catch a trend the rest of the day, or is this just going to be, like I said, breakdown, retest, rotate down? I'm going to take it. I want to see how much of this I could let happen. I'm only trading one micro, so it's very, trying to get profits out of it is difficult, right? $50 at a time is great. I'll take $50 at a time, give myself here, but I feel like I'm at a decision point right now where I need to let it make a decision to see if I could get this follow through on the upside. Like I said, I'm not as good on the long side as I am on the shorts. So I find that the longs are much harder to hold for me for some reason. Maybe because they're grinding, they're slow. They need momentum. They need participants to keep them going. That's really kind of why I don't really do them as much. I think if we crack high of the day, we get a really pretty decent squeeze to maybe up to 200. Microsoft just broke the high of that pattern and is not necessarily squeezing through it. So, well, not that pattern, but that area. So if it does start to fizzle, then we could fizzle. Just learning a bit more patience with micros. Like some of these ideas, like this could work, it could not, but it's just like whatever it is, what it is, it's okay. If I was in a full mini, I probably would have shed this already at 30 or been trailed right to the bottom of this red candle here because, that's all I really want to take out of my moves normally. So I could get these moves over and over. You see here and here. Like I get them constantly with minis. I do profit and I do make good money. But when I start to get into drawdown, I get into these micros and I start to try and build better habits, do some more quality work as best I can. Nvidia seems like it's helping us to the high side even when Microsoft sells some. So long as Nvidia starts to keep going up and doesn't sell, we should be still safe in this. I want to see if the S&Ps will hold over the overnight high. If this starts to crack down here, then that's when we should probably start to trail this out. If this bases out and gives us another long idea, maybe you do add a micro to it. Like long through 41. Absolutely. It's just really relative to account size. With these props, it's difficult to have people understand that, right? But I've been starting to keep into the micros to keep myself better. Obviously, I'm still trading here today. I still have opportunities because I've been in the micros. Personally, I would have been up probably $1,000 on a mini over here. So, I never would have been trading still, but it is what it is. If we can get above this, it could be good. Microsoft pulling right back into support. NVIDIA wedging. I don't like that. What I might do is I might add at 37, and then I will do the same thing I did before where I trail it right to that level. So I technically don't lose anything, but I double my impact to the high side if I get a breakout. Right. This feels like it wants to snap up, right? Like that's how that price is looking. It also feels like if it does snap up, it might snap immediately right back down. So I'm going to give it that old, as soon as I get in, see where it goes and then get out, if it doesn't trap me out first. I have it hovering here so I can just adjust it quick. Come on, give me that quick fill. There we go. All right, so now I'm basically risk-free on that ad. So if it doesn't go immediately, it's not going to affect me. I will have taken profits on it. Didn't stop me out, didn't stop me out, didn't stop me out. Trying to, it wants to. $51. There's no difference in $4. I will take that. There we go. Nice little push. Working on those momentum ads. So I am learning and adding and figuring out what I can do best here. Microsoft and NVIDIA both pushing towards the highs, so I'm safe currently. Still, again, 141 was that area where we were shorting before, so now we're back to 141. Hopefully we could hold this level. I'm going to just, like I said, I've secured $50 on the ad. So now it's just, can I get that momentum to that next level through, and then I'll see if I get another setup like this, I could add another contract through that, and then trail it based on how I see it structuring. This could be an unruly squeeze right now. Let's see what happens. Microsoft trying to break high day, and NVIDIA right at the point where it's make or break. So it's either going to snap up or snap down, and I think we're going to get that snap down right now, stop us out, and then run probably. That's really what I kind of feel like is going to go down. We're re-accepted back into that little bit of a range. And remember, 41 was where we shorted before, so snap right there. There you go. So made another $50 on it. That contract ad never hurt us, and it only could have added to our momentum trade. Now that we're failing that, I could definitely try a short, right? And then just risk one. Down the other direction. Break, retest. Failed break momentum. Now just flip it the other way. In a rangy type movement. There we go. Nice hard move on the downside. Now we should really get some selling to come in. Since it didn't remember to keep going. I will add a second through here. You can see I'm much better to the short side as far as aggressiveness is concerned. If that's going to just be a trap, right, then we're going to get stopped out. I'm cool with that. But I had to take that short there because that heaviness does feel like it wants to keep going. You know, could I risk to the high of this? What is that, $25? I could. No, Microsoft got strong there. I'm going to be out at even. If it does go, actually. Yeah, I'm really good at shorts. Like, if that was just a regular, like I said, a mini, whatever, I'm really quick to snap to the short side. I would have trailed that out quick. Fast moves, fast trails, right? That's my game. But we're not. We're building ourselves back to even here today. That's what we're going for. And like I said, if we can get that same type of push to the downside here again, I can get my stop to basically even and then never really take more risk on the trade if it's going to keep going to the downside. If it's not going to keep going, then it's going to turn around and rip me out, and I'll still secure, you know, my fees or whatever on this one. Just based on that Nvidia is so weak, dude. Nvidia wants to go so far down right now. If Microsoft could just help it a little bit. I want this to go, 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 go. Fill this wick. If we can fill that wick, it's going to get heavy quick. The fact that it's holding this is actually very, it's confirming my idea here. It's just so, I mean, there's all that liquidity right here that wants to get through that 120 level. That was just so snappy. That really felt like we need to get heavier. If we fill this, I'll get my stop to even, which will probably end up being 120, and then see if we can get this to get into this bottom down here at that 20,100, and then I'll start to trail it a bit more. I'm starting to get a really good feel right now. I'm like on a good little rhythm. Break, retest, should sweep the low now if it wants to make a new low, right? That's the idea of the break, retest, rotation idea here. Microsoft just needs to break through this level right now, and then we can be downside pressure continuing. There it goes. Come on. It's funny. I'm going to be adding where I would normally be taking profits, but I'm working this momentum idea. Over 120, we're out for even. What do we risk? $50. This time I wanted to risk adding more. Network issues. That's not good. No, Microsoft, you trapped me. Welcome back. Like I said, Nvidia is relatively weak. It wants to get heavy. I added on the bottom that. Oop, it's like very snappy right now. Don't like that wick, to be honest. Just based on the Microsoft strength. I'm going to get out of that at $47. So I was up, turn that into a loser. That's just on worth working this ad idea, trying to just remain with that same, if it was going to get out at 120, it was going to get out at even, right? Not adding the risk to it. I was feeling that. It was really a good feel move there. S&P's grabbed that liquidity and now is pushing upside. Nvidia once again finding a higher low. We'll try that one more time. If we break through 145, I'll add. That's not good for you. Always be aware of your issues. That's good to note for sure. Through 45, I'll add. with these micros, I do a lot of adding when I'm in drawdown. And if I was not, I would be taking full position sizes immediately. S&P is continuing trying to make new highs of day. Just, I mean, getting towards that high of the day there, but just S&P is relative strong. I mean, relatively weak compared to this. So if we can get that follow through, we could push through the highs. I'm trying to work on my ability to go long with momentum. Like I said, I'm not the best with it. I'm working on it. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that even button that quickly. All right. It's good, though. It worked out. Probably going to be stuck at this 350 for the day if I don't get tracked into this. All right. I'm going to stay on for about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to be done for the day. So when I start getting into the weeds a little bit, it's when the problems come. Still have yet to clear that high. Try it. It does look bullish, and I just tried to snap that short through that level there. If it snaps through this high again, I'm out. I saw Microsoft wick the high, so I took the short based off of that as well. Watching the Microsoft closely. Yeah, I'm going to close that and use the bathroom. I'll be right back and we'll finish this up. Alrighty. The bullish strength was the play, right? That was the play. Kept it. I want to break the high of the day, and I want to play the breakout. Try my best with it. I'm not the best breakout trader in the world, but I will try it. Up and down and up and down and up and down. Work on the hotkey button. And I'll do it with 2. And I'll take one off. Let's say 70s. Nah, I'll leave it alone. So this trade here was great. This one was good. This one ended up stopping on the out for that long. I just took the stop. So making good ideas here. Making good ideas. Let's see what that looks like as far as the day is concerned. Just pulling back. Gotta get myself back into that. I got time. Plenty of time. Just looking at it. I want to maybe see a failure of it. Let's see if I can get my normal failed breakout type idea. See if we can get a squeeze, push up into 170, come back down, fail 159, and then I can start to rotate myself back towards VWAP a little bit. That would be my favorite idea. I still like this here.
Order filled.
All right, well, that's what we're doing now. Don't be a trap. Looks like a trap. It's a trap. I'm so used to doing it with two that I grabbed another two. Yeah, exactly. I wanted to short it from 59s, to be honest, but that's just more like a manipulation. This almost feels like a pullback to get that momentum going, but, you know, not necessarily. Could still keep going to the downside, and we could still be fine, right? We're still fine with our risk there. I don't want to be caught in a breakout, though. It's very trappy. I'm out on that. I don't want to be in that silly goose. Which way do we go? There it goes. Right up. Let's see if it goes up to 70s. And I could fail it. I think people have been looking to buy this all day. I mean, this was the target initially for my other long, so if I would have just left it alone, it's still there. But now we can see if we can get the failed breakout, stay rotational on the day. I mentioned up to 70-ish, then failing this 60, but it could fail at any moment in time, to be honest with you. if it was going to break out, wouldn't you think it would go right now? Wouldn't you think it's going to go? So that's my thought. If it's not going to go now, then is it going to pull back and snap to the downside again? And that's why I have my sell order there.
Order filled.
This is where I play my game. At my best, this is usually where I'm at. I have to take this chance based on the strategy. But, you know, it's easily that it could go to all-time highs. So I'm not, like, totally married to it. And if sellers come in, I think we can, if we do get through that 130, I think we accelerate downside. That's why I'm willing to add there. It's just a matter of if it will get quick, you know, if it's going to do that hard idea quickly. There's that move now. Does it keep going? Looks like it's momentum based. I'm out there for $50. This would be now a good time for it. For the go. I need to get out of that. You can see that that's now looking like it's strong to the upside there. This was a really good entry for that long. This was a good area to not try and get short, but this up here is still my idea. So I'm willing to stop myself there and then try it again. This will be my last trade probably of the day if it does trigger and stop me out.
Order filled.
As I mentioned, stop sell 2 there. I will get shorter there, take 1 off here. I think we can get this to snap if it wants to go downside, but if it's not going to go, it's going to do it quickly. Could take all day for me to get my shit together, but it could happen. Watching Microsoft sell below 39.30 and Nvidia just finding another level of support. So if we can get some more sellers to kind of break through those levels, then maybe we could finally get our seller to come in. Not that I'm trying to pick tops, pick bottoms, just trying to find good trade location for my ideas that play out pretty frequently. This is dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing with this level. As long as it doesn't make a new high, then it's fine. Like I said, this is going to be the last trade of the day for this account, for the stream, for everything. Another kind of choppy day. Even if I win this one and make all of it back and then some, right? It's still a choppy day. Over traded a bit on it. Still don't see this working out correctly based on the way these guys are acting. I would love to see it be a rotational day. That's my thought on it. Like, let's be rotational and not even fully rotational. Get back to closer to the opening range and really make some decisions down at the opening range. Or VWAP, right? VWAP would be nice. 20,000 even. That'd be cool too. But that's not like, that's not a full rotation, right? We're so high up compared to where we closed yesterday and previous day highs is that that FOMC number high, right? So we're in this area on now actual market participants. Do they want to pull it back down there to get better pricing? Possibly. That's my thought on it. I also think that the rate decision is bearish, theoretically. Does not mean the economy is doing better. And a 50-point cut is catch up. Much as he said it's not catch up. Microsoft's going to squeeze us out of this. Yeah, not a great week. Still it's still okay in this account, but just up and down week so far. The lack of follow through to the upside tells me we want to have some selling, but like I said, I'm just bad at grinding upside markets. So my breakout ideas could be right as far as breaking out and going, but the way I manage them, I don't know if they're appropriate, right? Microsoft finding that area of interest again. Oh, that's not it. Like I said, I'm trying to use these micros to allow some of these trade ideas to work out a little bit better. It is very slow. It still feels like it wants to get heavy, but does it grind down the rest of the day? Does it grind up the rest of the day? What happens with this? And if we do crack through this low here, do I go to even? Do I let it dance around some more? Do I just leave the stop at the high of the day? That's all the questions that you got to ask yourself with your trade management, right? Especially today, I'm working on some different types of things, some ads and stuff. So, for the amount of trades I've taken and for only to being drawn down a couple $100, it's not a bad way to kind of go about it, right? Yeah, pullbacks happen, right? Absolutely. That's why I usually trade, like I said, trade minis. I'm usually very quick to take my scalp wins because I know I could take them, and I'm very consistent with the way I take those profits. I've switched to micros in drawdown, and some of these moves where I would have been completely okay with securing profit on, I try and let them breathe a little more to do things with them, and it's just kind of not my style. It's not the way I really work. These types of moves, I wouldn't be in this trade this long. Could it work out for me eventually? Absolutely. Could it work out right now? Cool. That'd be great. But something about the way I trade and the way I know how to trade leads me to be better served with my scalpy behavior. Because I'm not looking for huge moves. I'm looking for small pieces of that big break. So I could just take my little piece and then be done for the day, right? Less emotion on that, less thinking. Nvidia broke down. Microsoft's selling from a high point, but the market's still grinding up. So the relative weakness doesn't actually help in these shorts at the moment. And I've been saying it the whole day, and I've been fighting it. So it's on me for losing, right? Because I'm saying that it's relatively strong compared to everything, and every time it sells off, I'm not taking the money on it. This feels like a momentum break above. But at the same time, for my short idea, you would think that this would have broke earlier. So that's why I've held it. We got right to my entry and then rotated back out again. But now Microsoft's selling from that high again. NVIDIA seeing if it wants to break down through this little support area once again. So another reason for me not to get out of the trade. I'm thinking through the trade, plausibility of it working out, right? I got the wick of 70 that I wanted. The rotation back down through the high of the day, the failed breakout per se. And then the help from the Mag 7 rotational off of their levels, right? So that's why I'm able to kind of hold this and stay in a little bit longer, and try and deal with this level. All right, it wants to move, but where does it want to go? Does it want to just grab more liquidity here and then fucking snap me out? Yeah, the price action sucks. I'm going to add to this too, to just really add insult to injury on it. Boy, this is a painful wait. I would have probably anticipated that to sell off harder if it was going to go there. Does Microsoft hold this last little piece of this wedge pattern, or does it go down? Can we break through 439.30? Can we do it? Promise I'm not picking a top. I'm just trying to fade a breakout. And if it... Obviously, my entry is the fucking decision point because it just tests it, break, test it, break, test it, break. Microsoft broke that level, looking to see if it'll get down through 439. If it can do that, then maybe we get some heaviness, and that'll be the snap move. Then I can get the even and then be done. Yeah, I normally don't like being trading around noon Central Time. That was heavy. Really, it shouldn't come back over that. Really, it shouldn't come back over here. 63s. But I'm going to give it that breathing room that I've been giving it the whole time. This is more to pull it down if this gets triggered, this add. God damn, that sucks. It's either that or it's Wix. Yeah, it probably is. No, hopefully it just melts off, to be honest. And then you'll never have to worry about your long idea. All right, shouldn't get through that. Oh, yeah. Frustrating day. Super frustrating day. Alrighty. That's that for me. I locked myself out for that. Another day of sideways mess. We made the adjustments, and then we've been up and down this account. So we got down, up, down. We're still slightly down on the account, just based on that first week. But realistically, not out of the woods. I mean, not out of the woods, but not in any real danger at the moment. All right, I'll stay and just watch. What? Oh, mine neither either. Alrighty. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow morning, normal time, same place. Everything is going to be just hopefully a little bit cleaner for me. Be done early. Like I said, I was up early. I made a couple really good trades, and then I decided to give it back on one of these here, and then I've been chasing it ever since. Obviously, in drawdown, over trading some. Yeah, that's it. All right. So until tomorrow, same time, same place. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.